The biome of estuaries. Estuaries are found where the river meets the sea and contain brackish water, a mix of salt water from the ocean and fresh water from the river. There are 4 different types of estuaries. The first one is a coastal plain estuary. The Chesapeake Bay is an example of a coastal plain estuary that was formed at the end of the last ice age. These are formed when the sea levels rise and fill already existing river valleys. The second type of estuary is a tectonic estuary. They are formed by the shifting of tectonic plates, often due to earthquakes. An example is San Francisco Bays. The third type of estuary is a barbell estuary, formed by an area of water being protected from the ocean by coral reefs or sandbars. Examples of this are in North Carolina and Virginia, where there are sandbars in which they create small estuaries. The fourth type of estuary are forage estuaries. They are created when glaciers carve out deep valleys and ocean water runs into them in order to fill them out. An example are a series called Puget Sound located in Washington. Estuaries are very nutrient and serve as homes to many plants and animals. They are rich in nutrients such as bacteria and plankton, as well as detritus, which is decomposing plant matter. The salinity in estuaries is constantly changing. It rises and falls with the tides during different seasons. During the rainy seasons, the estuaries might flood with river water and therefore be a higher level of fresh water than salt water, and during the dry seasons, the rivers may come to a trickle and therefore estuaries become more salty. As well as during storm surges and times with lots of waves, estuaries may also become more salty. The calm water in estuaries provides homes for many small fish, shellfish, migrant birds, and shore animals. Animals such as manatees and small fish eat things such as seaweed and seagrass, mushrooms, and plankton. Estuaries provide a safe place for many animals, as well as fishing grounds for birds. The oysters in estuaries provide food for crabs and some fish, as well as they help detoxify the water. A main consumer in the Australian and southeastern Asian estuaries is the estuarine crocodile. This crocodile has made adaptations so it does not need to eat for months at times. When the estuary shrinks due to the dry season, it is able to eat land animals such as kangaroos and monkeys, but during wet seasons it is able to eat fish. Animals in estuaries must be able to adapt to the change in salt levels as well as the changing in water levels and the amount of food that is available. Humans can use estuaries in some places as a source of fresh water for things such as drinking and hygiene. This can cause the estuaries to have less fresh water and more salt water, and therefore a higher level of salinity, creating an environment that is unstable for some animals. It can also cause there to be less water in the estuary overall, and therefore resulting in there not being enough water for certain species to survive. Due to human activity in estuaries, such as trade due to ships, there is a higher amount of pollution. For example, industries in New York and New Jersey have runoff that settles into the sediment at the bottom of estuaries. Oysters are a keystone species that help detoxify estuaries, but due to the amount of pollution, it was predicted that by the 20th century, the oysters will be too toxic for human consumption, and therefore there have been strict regulations put into place in places such as the Hudson Rituarian Estuary that help there be less pollution. The short-nosed sturgeon is an endangered species in estuaries. It became endangered in 1967. Threats to the short-nosed sturgeon are dam construction and operation, pollution, and habitat alteration. Dams don't allow the fish to migrate downstream, as well as water withdrawals in southern regions cause the habitats of these fishes to be taken away. The short-nosed sturgeon plays an important role in estuaries, which is that they bring in and out nutrients. The NMFS published a recovery plan in December of 1998 in order to restore the species. In the Hudson River, there are between 26,000 to 55,000 individuals. In the St. John, Kennebec, and Delaware rivers, the subpopulation in each are about 5,000 to 15,000. In the Connecticut River, there are about 1,200, and the Merrimack River, less than 100. In the Obichee and Alameda rivers in Georgia, there have been less than 1,000 fish reported. Other species in estuaries include the Alabama shad, the alewife, the Atlantic sturgeon, the blueback herring, the Chinook salmon, the Choho salmon, the Aluchon, the green sturgeon, the Gulf sturgeon, the large-toothed sawfish, mangrove rivulus, the Nassau grouper, Pacific herring, rainbow smelt, the saltmarsh top minnow, the small-toothed sawfish, and the steelhead trout. In order to minimize threats to an estuary, one could minimize the amount of runoff pollutants and fertilizers that they put into the local streams and rivers, or join a group to help protect your local estuaries, and/or advocate and support restoration of more natural water flow regimens as well as conservation programs that work to protect the endangered population as well as estuaries. The following photo is for the sources I used, both for information as well as photos.